Okay, this is seriously starting to annoy me. Whatever the hell is wrong with YouTube, they need to fix it. Because I can't even hit the stop recording button to upload when it goes through, oh, what went wrong, what went wrong. And it keeps doing it to me. Um, let's just make this really quick because I've done this video 6 times now and I'm getting annoyed. September 5th or September 12th, I have my period. September 5th, 15th, I ended it. September 23rd, I ovulated. My birthday was September 19th, by the way. Um, October 1st, my friend came into town. She was here from the 1st to the 12th. I had a doctor's appointment on the 3rd. My doctor did not know anything about me. She didn't know my name. She didn't know how old I was. She knows nothing. Is she not keeping track? She didn't even know I had children. What the hell? She told me I was too fat to get pregnant again. Okay. I was pissed off. I was annoyed. And at that point, I decided that it was time to get a new doctor. It was. I took the Clomid prescription. I filled the Clomid prescription. My period did not come October 12th. My period did not come October 13th. Took a pregnancy test. Had a light positive. October 14th, I went to the hospital. I didn't feel right. I had an ultrasound, and they said that there was nothing there. They did the eternal wand, and they turned it on, and it sounded like something. The lady argued with me and told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I've had 8 eternal ultrasounds this year alone, 9 including the hospital one, where they have turned it on to listen to the way my blood flows, to listen to the sound of my ovaries and all that, okay? This was completely different. This was overdrive. This thing was going, going, going like it was trying to get caught up, okay? They lost my blood work 3 times, compromised my blood work 2 times, never did my HCG level test like they claimed they did. I found out, okay? And they stood in the hallway with a syringe and gloves and a pregnancy test and yelled at me because I couldn't pee on demand. Yeah. So my last video before the last one on October 26th, yes, when I told y'all I was pregnant, 4 pregnancy tests confirmed it. October 28th, I ended up in the hospital because on the 27th, I was on my feet for way too long and I started spotting just a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough for me to be concerned because I was also cramping. They gave me macrobid and said that I had a bacteria, but it's not a UTI. So after doing my research, I learned that it can cause miscarriages, and I'm gonna wait and talk to the doctor about it. I called my doctor to see if I could get in, even though I don't like her and I don't want to see her. Bitch wouldn't let me in. She's out of the country. The nurse told me if I miscarry, then I'm just gonna have to try and get pregnant again. That's a shitty thing for a nurse to say. Am I wrong? So that was one thing. Um, so I started calling around this morning, and I found a doctor who accepts new patients on Fridays, but it turns out he has an opening for the 30th at 10 a.m. So I'm gonna go see him, and I'm excited because he delivers at the 2 hospitals that I wanted to deliver at because they have outstanding ratings and they are not too far from me. Because y'all know that I live like not too close to the city, but not too far out from the city. So like they're in the perfect distance for me if there is an emergency. So I'm happy about that. Um, I am hoping that he's gonna tell me when my due date is so I can tell everybody. The lady at the ultrasound told me that I was like 6 weeks. The ultrasound doctor told me I was like 4 weeks, and I was like, but your tech told me I was 6 weeks. Well, if she said you're 6 weeks, then you're 6 weeks. Plain and simple. And I was like, well, when am I due? Oh, I don't know when you're due. I don't understand that at all. I really don't. So I really need to figure out when I'm due. There wasn't even an internal ultrasound on the 28th either. It was just an outside one, and I wish it would have been an internal one because I do believe that they would have been able to pinpoint it better. They really would have. So, but I'm hoping I'm going to get one tomorrow to pinpoint how far along I am and where I am in the pregnancy because I am worried about that. Um, I would love to know my due date. I know not to walk in tomorrow and expect to see the baby have a heartbeat. I know that. I know that babies don't have heartbeats between 6.5 to 8 weeks. I am not worried about that at all. I know that most people would be. I am not. I got pregnant on my own. No Clomid, no nothing. I did it on my own. That is a miracle. This is a blessing from God. That is what this is. In my heart, I know that this baby and I will go to 39 weeks. That I will deliver this baby through a C-section, that this baby will be healthy, that this baby and I will be okay. In my heart, I know that. I know that for the last 4 years of crying and screaming and begging that this is what is meant to be. I feel fine. I do not feel like I'm going to have a miscarriage. Um, I don't feel like I'm going to have any real true complications. I'm very in touch with my body, and I know that most people would tell you that's crazy. I knew every time I've been pregnant before I was pregnant. Like this time when I took that test, I kind of figured I was with how dizzy and lightheaded I've been. I have always known what I am having. The doctor will tell you, "Oh, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm positive. It's a boy. I'm positive. It's a girl." I've always been right. Always. The pregnancy with my daughter, I knew I was going to have complications because of how sick I started off. I knew that. I started off so sick, like literally so sick that um, from week 6, I started bleeding so much that I just, from there on, I knew I was going to have complications. This pregnancy, I do not feel like that. I feel relaxed and, everything's going to be okay. Um, I'm not worried about it. I'm not. And if, God forbid, something does happen, then I will probably have to go put myself in the psych ward. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing is going to happen, and this baby and I am going to go to 39 weeks. You will pry this baby from my cold dead hands, plain and simple. That is exactly what I told somebody. You will pry this baby from my cold, dead fucking hands. I'm going to do this. Come hell or high water, I'm carrying this baby to term, plain and simple. I know my body and I know how far I can push it and I know my limits and I am not giving up. I did this on my own. No fertility drugs, nothing. Going from having huge cysts to all of a sudden being pregnant. I can do this. And I've never had any true complications during pregnancy besides I had a blood pressure issue with my daughter, but it was resolved quickly. Never had gestational diabetes. Um, had some bleeding with her, but it quit around 9 weeks. It was between 6 to 9 weeks, but it quit. I was always dizzy and lightheaded, but that's just a normal pregnancy thing for me because I had it with my son too. So, and I was throwing up a lot, but not a lot. So technically, I've never had any true complications during pregnancy. Nothing to really put me and the baby at risk. Nothing at all. So that's why I'm so sure that me and this baby are okay. Because I've never really had those issues. I've never had such bad complications that it's been like, oh, you're going to lose the baby. Never. Not once. So my complications have always usually been after, or it's been the fact that, oh, well, the sac formed, but the baby didn't come. And that's always, usually always ever happened at 3 to 4 weeks. Knowing that I'm 5 weeks and knowing that there is something already in there, I know that I'm good. I really think I'm 6 weeks, to be honest with you. I really do. I feel fine. I feel happy. I feel like me and the baby are going to be fine. I really do. I'm so excited to be like journaling this and we're gonna go through all this and I'll probably do another one tomorrow. So like I'm so excited. Um I really hope I like my doctor. I really do. He's got another woman who's on call too, so like there's two of them thankfully, so if anything does happen, that's a good thing. So I'm excited to meet him and I'm excited to ask him questions and I'm excited to figure out how far along I am. I'm excited to figure out when I'm due. Because if I'm correct, I've got to be between 5 to 6 weeks. I have to be. I really feel like I am. I've gained weight since then, to be honest, and I kind of am starting to look like I'm pregnant. So maybe. And the ultrasound tech who did my thing on the 20th, they didn't tell me if it was one birth or two births. They didn't tell me that. They just told me I was pregnant. So I don't know if it's multiples or not. I have no clue, which is kind of freaking annoying, to be honest. So I'm hoping we can figure out if it's one baby or two babies. I'm going to be like, I want to know, am I pregnant with one baby or two babies? Plain and simple you know? So I'm excited and I'm being positive about this because I will not breeze through this pregnancy, but I will make it through this pregnancy. And the reason why I'm telling y'all that I'm going to deliver at 39 weeks is because I'm going to be scheduled for another cesarean because my first two are cesareans. So I know that I do not have an option, not at the hospital. There is no option. I must have a cesarean. And technically, I've come to terms with that because I know that I'm allowed to put the baby on my chest as long as there are no complications during my delivery and the hospital does agree with it. So as long as I can get the doctor to agree with it, I will be able to hold my baby the moment it is pulled from my body, and my husband will be able to cut its cord, which is the one thing that I've wanted. And plus, I get to breastfeed. I've always wanted to breastfeed, but I've never had my kids Like my son, they didn't give me my son until he was 6 hours old, and they had already started him on a bottle, and they gave him a premature nipple, and then he was almost 9 pounds, by the way. And then my daughter, she was automatically, she wasn't allowed anything. And then the moment they found out I was going to breastfeed, she had breathing problems, and she had a feeding tube down her throat for 4 days. And from there, I couldn't breastfeed her. I felt so bad that I couldn't. So I'm excited to attempt to breastfeed, and I'm actually going to do everything in my power to breastfeed. I'm reading about it, and if you guys have any information, please send it to me. I'm totally for it. I need all the information I can get. I haven't done this. By the time the baby's born, I haven't done this in 4 years and 9 months. So yeah, okay. So, and my daughter's birthday is Wednesday, and I'm so excited to go trick or treating with her. My husband's going to come with us, so I get to spend most of the day off my feet, and then the rest of the day trick or treating with the kids. I have to finish their costumes though, so we'll see. All right, bye, you guys.